Nothing like a good night's sleep. I always sleep in a nice cool chamber, windows open pretty much year round if I can. Here we have a nice comfort mattress.
Go.
So every morning I wake up, I do a little morning routine. Make sure that I'm not too stiff. I do vigorous scalp massage. I actually try to literally move the skin around in the forehead and the head. So I'm actually moving the scalp. Keeps the hair really, really healthy. Helps prevent baldness. Keeps the sebaceous glands producing oil. I'm doing pressure point massage on all the important pressure points on my face. It's a little something. This is a Chinese eye massage that I learned. Take Off Your Glasses and See. It's an excellent book that has tons of exercises. My thumb is on my temple. I'm going over my eyebrows and under the eyes. I've definitely noticed that my vision has improved since I threw my glasses out. Now ear massage. Working those ears really good, pulling the ears, bones behind the ears, pressure points under the nose, chin. I'm calming the muscles on my jaws. I tend to carry a little tension in those jaws sometimes. And I'm sticking my little fingers deep in the eustachian tubes and working my jaws open and shut. Because of the damage sustained in wrestling with the cauliflowering, my ear holes, the eustachian tubes were closing up. So I had a yoga master show me this excellent exercise for keeping the hearing sharp. This is called the drums of heaven. I'm actually thumping my fingers in the back of my skull. I'll show you here. So I cup the ears, and it really makes like this drumming sound inside your skull, and very, very good for the auditory nerve and preserving your hearing well into advanced age. Here I'm doing eye exercises, up and down first, and then side to side, diagonal, and I'll do so many to the inhale, so many reps to the exhale, circles. So your eyes are like any other muscle group. You definitely need to keep the... Now I notice I'm moving my head a little bit. I'm doing figure 8, eye rolling. But you definitely want to preserve. So I'm doing figure 8s both directions. I'm going sideways figure 8 and a regular figure 8. It's interesting to watch yourself do these things on videotape. I had no idea that I was moving my head as much. Blinking is extremely good for the vision. It, especially, I'm filming this while in Las Vegas, pretty dry, but you want to rapidly blink those eyes. I usually do anywhere to 100 to 108, and then squeezing the eyes and suddenly opening the eyes. Some eyeball massage, some isometric. I'm actually trying to turn my eyes against the pressure of the fingers up and down. Feels quite excellent. Next, I'm rolling my tongue around the inside of my teeth. It's called the juice of Jade. So I'm doing tongue rolling, taking it the whole way around the outside of the gum. First I'll go one direction, and then I'll reverse it. Usually I'll do them in sets of 8, 4 sets of 8. 8 is considered a lucky number in the I Ching. So a lot of the exercises done in the Asian exercise systems, the health systems, are done in 8. And you do work up quite a bit of saliva. This is excellent. And then notice I do 3 swallows. Excellent for digestion. All digestion starts in the mouth. This is called the Hungry Lion technique. It's in yoga. I stretch my tongue out as far as I can, really working those throat muscles. All this stuff may look pretty strange, but I assure you it's my hearing and my vision have definitely improved. I was starting to suffer some hearing loss, and once I threw my glasses out, my eyes got much better. Doing some neck jaw rolls. Once again, you don't want to carry too much attention in the jaws. The jaws tend to get really tight. Next, I'm massaging each individual finger, each knuckle. These are called marma points. In yoga, I'm bending each finger back, twisting it. Don't neglect your fingers. My grandmother, before she died, poor soul, she couldn't even tie her shoes. She had such terrible arthritis. I've probably broken every finger in my hand at some point in my wrestling and jiu-jitsu career. I used to race mountain bikes when I was younger, and a lot of terrible crashes in the mountain bike. So this is really important. My fingers have a lot of little bone spurs, and I'm trying to keep the function there as I go into the last couple of decades of my life. So many of these things we take for granted when we're young, but this little health system I'm showing you here that you can do in bed each morning, I've noticed big dividends. Pulling and stretching the wrists in all different ways, closing the knuckles, stretching out the forearms, the hands, the fingers. I still like to get on the mat sometimes, so I want to make sure that my wrists are really mobile. These are called finger waves. So I do a lot of gripping, but I don't do as much extension as I should, so I'm waving the fingers in and extending out. Thumb waves. And then it's really important to try to move each digit individually every morning without moving the others, or minimizing the movement of the others. It's pretty hard. You notice that the index finger and the thumb is easy. The middle finger is not too hard. But the ring finger and the pinky, it's really hard to move by themselves. You want to move everything else. Notice I squeeze the index and middle finger together to make it, but notice in that left hand I want to move that pinky along with the ring finger. But every day, move those fingers individually. Don't lose control. This is called fanning with the fingers. Start with a little and fan down, and then back and reverse it. Then I'll go from the other side. So I want to keep that finger functioning. This next one, I work my upper spine and neck. I arch my neck like a little baby looking behind me, and then I flatten my neck and lengthen my spine as long as I can. The neck is made to move, so it's really important to get a lot of neck movement in through the day. Rolling side to side, trying to touch my ear to the mattress. After years and years of combat martial arts, combat grappling, my neck has received its fair share of trauma and injuries. So really important for me to try to move my neck as much as I can. Here I'm looking at a diagonal, rolling my head, reaching with the head and the neck. Looking the other way now, bringing the chin down towards the shoulder. It's really nice in the bed. Feels quite excellent. Really gets the neck lubricated. Here I'm moving the wrists. I'm not actually moving the hands, I'm moving my forearms. The hands are actually staying still. So it's the forearm that's doing the movement. But these little wrist rotations. Here I'm going to liberate my feet from underneath the covers. Pull the covers up. Squeezing and then extending the toes. Toes are another thing that it's real easy to lose the function on. It's ankle circles. Now it's time to get up. I usually sleep in the nude, but for priority's sake, wearing a pair of underpants. But I do advocate sleeping completely naked, really good for the body, and exposing your skin, all your skin, even the genitalia, to the air every morning. Once again, more neck work, side to side, lateral glides. These are all classic joint mobility exercises. A little bit more back and torso. Some spinal waves. You're only as old or young as your spine. Some trunk circles. There's never a day that I don't get out of bed and immediately do some Tai Chi waist twister. Shaking all the tension out of the body. This is very important to scrape the tongue every morning. You want to get all the mucus and all the waste off of the tongue so it doesn't get reabsorbed into the body. Obviously, brushing your teeth, really important. I like to use an electric toothbrush. I travel with a battery-operated one that plugs in. Looking for my tooth powder. This is really good stuff, man. It's cinnamon tooth powder. It's non-abrasive, and I squirt a little bit on my tongue and then swish it around my teeth and work over each tooth. Run it over the gums. Obviously, oral hygiene is really important. I don't eat a lot of sugar or junk foods. I do have sweets in the form of dates and fruits and so forth, so there is some sugar. Usually I spend a little bit more time brushing the teeth, but this is just for demonstrations, just so you can get an idea of what a good morning routine would be. Always really good to take care of your equipment. Dry stuff off. This routine has kept me really healthy in my 62 years. I feel like I've had very little sickness. I feel quite excellent. This is good stuff. You can buy this in any drugstore. Really good for rinsing the sinuses. Little sinus rinse. I was swishing water around in my mouth the entire time. So I got to adjust the water so that it is warm. And the only way you can really tell that is by running it over your forearms. And then filling up my little neti pot. I have a new one. It's see-through, which is really nice. Then you just put the little saline solution in there. Really good stuff. I carry a little plastic spoon with me, stir it around there. Make sure it's dissolved well. And once again, it needs to be warm, and that warm salty water is just fantastic stuff. Shake it up a little bit more. And then I just run it through one side of my nasal passages. It goes up into the sinuses. Notice it's just running right out of there. Looks like that mirror could use a little cleaning. Then rinsing the other side. And I like the clear pot because you can actually see the water inside, and you can actually tell when it's about ready to finish. And wow, that is so soothing. It just feels really, really, really good. It's probably one of the healthiest practices that you can possibly do. Next, I have a little scraper. Really good for the head. I already did the scalp massage, but any flakes or anything, really good to get out of there. Give myself a vigorous head massage. Water still draining out of the sinuses sometimes. sometimes it will continue to drain for a little bit. This is a dry brush. I'm going to start with the soles of my feet and vigorously do small circles, top, bottom of the feet, working my way towards the heart. It's a natural bristle brush. It's not synthetic. It's a boar's bristle with some plant fiber going over every inch of my skin. One of the healthiest things you can do. A lot of people don't realize, but your skin is the largest organ in the body, and it's really important to keep the skin really healthy. A lot of waste is eliminated through the skin if a person's toxic, but by keeping the pores open, you make those waste elimination channels open. Also, then I go after my legs. I'll do each leg. Then I go to the arms. So you work your limbs first before you start going to the torso, always towards the heart. They're great for lymph, getting a lymphatic return back to the body. Try to get every square inch. Once again, try to do like little circle moves. Some authorities say that you shouldn't do your face, but I don't find it's a big deal. All my life I've been spent in the jiu-jitsu mat, get my face rubbed into the tatami. So I don't mind a little bristle action on my face. It feels quite good to me. Working the abdominals. Working the back. Really, really excellent the way it feels. Once again, all circular action as much as I can. Very, very, very vigorous. And sometimes you almost work up like a little perspiration. It's like a little mini exercise system. Occasionally I'll go over different parts of my body. Then it's time for the shower. And I usually take a cold water treatment in the morning. I like to keep a nice rough coarse towel. I turn the water on as cold as it comes out. Once again, I would be normally in the nude, but you know, for privacy's sake, I'm wearing a pair of underpants. But you get the idea.
Yeah.
Obviously, I would normally have the shower curtain shut, but I'll just pull it just enough that the water doesn't go all over the floor. So the water is pretty chilly, and I start with my face and my head, and then I start to put my whole body in there, and I rub myself vigorously. Give myself a nice little massage. This is called tapping, slapping the body and then massaging it. Running down the meridian line. This is called tapping. Usually I slap and tap on my limbs. I'm rubbing the front of the kidneys. Do 4 little circles at the bottom of my abdomen, 4 at the top, and then 8 big ones. I'll go through this twice. These are energetic exercises that I learned from my yoga master, Chandra. Really nice thing to do in the cold shower. Now I'm going to do kidney tapping, rubbing the back of the kidneys. Tap, usually the tradition is 8 times. I'll go through at least twice. Then the legs, quick massage, tapping on the side of the knee. Traditionally this is to energize the system, and slapping. Everything's done for usually 8 repetitions. This stuff is really important. I believe it is probably one of the reasons why I haven't been sick in many, many years. I had one head cold, maybe 15 years. I mean, a bad head cold. I got getting sniffles here and there, but for the most part, my immune system stays really good. It's called shaking and vibration. I'm shaking all the water off my body like a dog. Really good for venous return. Shaking the whole torso. Now for the towel treatment. This is a fairly coarse towel that I'm going to be using. I had prepared this towel specially by wetting it and then letting it just line dry so it gets really, really rough. So once again, a vigorous massage. Vigorously massaging the ears. Any one of these little segments could be done just as a thing unto itself if you don't have a lot of time. you could just go straight to the bathroom. And so I work from the head down, working the neck, everything vigorously. I learned this towel treatment from an old Russian guy. They're real experts in the sauna. Old Russian wrestler showed me some towel work. It's really quite invigorating. Gives you quite a nice little circulatory, cardiorespiratory workout. And just placing the towel just right. First I go across both shoulders, upper neck again, upper back. I'm putting a lot of effort into it. Going diagonal down the back and diagonal down the other side. I'm breathing pretty good here. Really working that towel in all parts of my body, my butt. Then working. Kind of like shining shoes. Shining up that skin. Produces a really nice glow in the body. Once again, starting from the distal end, working up towards the heart. You can do 2 to 4 times. For the sake of the video, I shorten it up a little bit, but sometimes I rub myself a bit longer. And the bottoms of the feet. First the torso. I like to work the kidneys really, really, really hard. Feels really, really good. So, working those feet. And once again, normally I'd be nude. Then working the tops of the feet. And then I'll take the towel between the legs and air the genitals. Getting the air all over the body. It's called an air bath. Like fanning myself. A lot of times then I'll just hang the towel and let it dry so it's nice and coarse. And then I walk around taking an air bath. I'll just walk around in the nude. Maybe do a little bit more joint mobility. Some circles. And this is the daily, this is every day. And of course, once again, you don't have to do it quite as long as I do. You know, I have more time, pretty much retired. But that's my morning routine. And thanks for watching.